Part of the reason why YouTube is such a dominant player is the sheer volume of traffic that it generates. I mean, the latest numbers show 4 billion views a day. And when you break that down, it's an incredible cross-section of audiences. You know, we often hear doubt from clients who have not used YouTube that, you know, their audience won't be there, especially in the B2B space. But what we found is that the power of YouTube search and the prevalence of YouTube has seeped into every aspect of society. So we have yet to find an audience that's not on YouTube in a number sufficient to support a marketing campaign. We don't normally think of YouTube as a search engine, yet it's the second most searched site in North America, right behind its parent company, Google. And you know, part of the reason for the rise of that is the popularity of video content. I mean, we have devices in our hands now that can play video that 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago couldn't. So there's this great demand for video content, and there's a great demand to find it. So while video does show up in the universal search engines, there's a mentality in the marketplace that people think YouTube, they think video. That's where they go to search. So we look at YouTube search strategies as being just as important as strategies on Google, Bing, or Yahoo. I think YouTube is very underutilized as a marketing tool. I think there are a couple of hurdles that the industry still has to get over. Some assumptions that are being made about YouTube that maybe aren't 100% accurate. Something I hear from B2B clients all the time, for example, is that my audience is not active on YouTube. Yet we know from experience that almost every market segment is active on YouTube. And we've had tremendous success with demand gen strategies for B2B customers using YouTube. One of the reasons why I think YouTube is underutilized by marketers is almost this tyranny of virality. When we read in the trades about videos, it's usually because they went viral and got 50, 60, 70 million views. And we're under the impression, I think a lot of us, that that's all that YouTube offers. Whereas there are a lot of different levels of success that a brand can have on YouTube, again, following the marketing funnel from awareness all the way down through conversion, but you have to have the content strategy that supports it. And I think that's the step. More than a misunderstanding of YouTube, it's a misunderstanding of content strategies that leads to YouTube not being used to its full potential. One of the interesting things about YouTube is that it is a cross-platform device, whether you really want it to be or not. So of the 4 billion views a day that YouTube gets, 25% of those views take place on screens bigger than 30 inches across, and 25% of those views take place on small screens, on mobile devices. And one of the interesting things that we've encountered with clients, even who don't have a mobile strategy, is that their content is being watched on mobile devices through YouTube. So they put a video on YouTube, they're not even thinking about the mobile space. Then we go and we look at their data, and for a lot of our clients, 25% of their traffic, sometimes even a little bit more, is coming from mobile. So whether the client really feels that they have a mobile content strategy or not, the audience is already there. The audience is already saying, we want to watch your content on a mobile device. YouTube gives us that opportunity. It's great insight to the marketer who is maybe a little bit hesitant to go into the mobile space or doesn't really understand what the mobile audience wants to do in relationship to their content. Here's an example where a lot of them already have a significant mobile audience. When we look at the global marketplace, I mean, there are very few places where YouTube is not the dominant player. And it's one of the things that makes it interesting, I think, for the global marketer, that a lot of the techniques that work well for YouTube in the United States are portable to other countries. And there are certainly other countries where YouTube is even more dominant in viewership than it is in the US. I mean, when you look at the latest data for the United States, about 40% of the video views in the US happen on YouTube. Nobody else really has more than 4 or 5% of that market. When we look at other countries, especially really valuable marketplaces like Brazil, Australia, we're seeing usage rates for YouTube at 65 or 70% of the marketplace. It's a dominant international player. I'm Rob Davis, Executive Director of the Content Marketing Practice at OgilvyOne, and these are Scrubber Bar Stories.